is Rachel Riedner. I am the director of the WIG program at the George Washington University, and I'm pleased to introduce my colleague from the biology department, Hartmut Doebel, and I'm going to let him talk about his research and his teaching and give you an example of some of the things that he does so successfully in the classroom.
Thank you, Rachel. I have been an educator for quite a while. I started out as a full-time high school teacher, and then about 10 years ago I was hired at George Washington University in the biology department to improve the teaching in the biology courses, especially the introductory courses. And then 4 years ago I added to my pedagogical research also research on diseases of honeybees. And the last thing I have done in the pedagogical area is to start a program here at GW to use trained learning assistants in large lecture courses. These trained learning assistants have taken a pedagogy course, and they know quite a bit of pedagogy, and they assist the instructor in the classroom, so that it's not just a one-way street of lecturing and students take desperately notes, but that students actually become the active learners. And so these LA teams consist of 12 to 18 students, and then we prepare exercises, as you can see here, that the students then have to solve and work through in the lecture hall. And I want to give you an example of how we do things quite differently now. Before I had LAs, I used clickers, these response systems that students can then vote on. These are multiple choice questions, very typically done in large classes. However, I decided that that is not a good idea because I'm still so much in charge and it's all one way. So I decided that the same question can be asked and then answered differently. So I make my students actually write down their answers individually at first. So they have to think about it, they have to think about how to word it, they get index cards, and then they need to turn in the index cards. After that has happened, I now challenge them to compare what their teammates have done, and they discuss it, they need to explain to each other, they need to kind of almost teach a little bit if they know what's going on, and then ultimately they are going to write that consensus answer into their journal. And that's very successful. They like the journaling quite a bit on the feedbacks I have seen. And so what this really does then, we can use these learning assistants to find out misconceptions very quickly. We can improve critical thinking. The students learn some vital communication skills, not just speaking, but also writing. And ultimately that will also improve study habits and study skills. And furthermore, the learning assistants themselves have to do a lot of writing. They need to write exercises that are clearly worded, worksheets, case studies, even quiz questions. And then once in a while they collect some of the journals or some of the worksheets we have done, and the students will get some written feedbacks from the learning assistants. So that's also very important. And to finish up here, I would say I basically smile a lot because I have a dedicated group of students who likes to become teachers, who want to learn differently and show others how to do that. And I lecture way less than ever before.
Thank you so much, Hartmut. I have a question. What is one of the benefits that you see from shifting from a multiple choice means of assessing students' knowledge to using short writing exercises in the classroom?
When you write your thoughts down, you actually find out very quickly whether you truly understand the answer. When you just think about it, we have heard that so many times from students, they thought they understood, but they don't. So I really believe that writing is kind of almost a self-test. Once they know or think they know, let them write. And when they stumble upon their own writing, it's not because they're bad writers, it's because they still do not fully understand the concept or whatever they are supposed to explain.
That's really helpful. And how do you, in the classroom, explain to them why writing is so valuable, a thing for them to be participating in? In other words, when you have them do short writing in the classroom, how do you introduce it to students?
I actually just sometimes tell them, just do it. And it's amazing what you can get away with as an instructor, and they just do it because you're the authority. However, when I really started out at the very beginning, so I lately may have forgotten to really explain everything because I know it works so well, then I gave them just some exercises where I said, do you understand what I said? You want to answer a clicker question? And then just show them that that is very hard. And then I had an exercise where I said, well, write it down now if you understand it. Discuss this with your neighbors and then write down the consensus and then get even the same clicker question back, and all of a sudden the scores go up very high. So it's kind of, and they see it, they know it immediately. I tell them, if you cannot write something like that, sometimes in 20 words or less, you don't understand what you're thinking about.
Thank you so very much.
Okay. All right, thank you.
Thank
It was a
you.
pleasure.